Welcome back to the Morning Blend. Our next guest advocates for people with disabilities. She wants everyone to be treated with kindness, to feel safe and included. Joining us now via FaceTime is motivational speaker Becky Karan Kakula with ways to overcome your fears and treat all people with respect. Hey, Becky.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. Tiff and I were just talking about seeing you on Facebook. Congratulations again on your wedding and your recent honeymoon. It looked like you guys had a really nice time.
Thank you so much. We had a blast.
It looked like it, and good timing too with everything going on. So it's great talking to you today. I want to talk a little bit about this concept about fear, because you think that people are often fearful when it comes to addressing the needs and the wants of people with disabilities.
Yes, definitely. So I think one of the biggest struggles is people are afraid of saying the wrong thing. So then that prevents them from interacting with the disability community. And then the additional fear is that 70% of disabilities are invisible. So that means that a lot of people are afraid to admit that they have an internal disability. I think there's so much stigma around how people with physical disabilities are treated, and they don't know how they would feel if they were in that same position. But the end goal would be for everyone to be treated with the same amount of respect and welcoming. And I think right now we're in those times where everyone is having to adapt and have accommodations that will allow them to still participate in the workforce. All of us, more of us working remotely. And I think that in the end will make the workforce more inclusive of those people with disabilities who may find it more productive to work remotely.
You just brought up so many interesting points, I think. So I wanted to start with first, what's a respectful and kind way to talk to you, for example, about your disability?
I always tell people, just call me Becky. But I do understand that there are some certain situations where you may want to provide additional context. If you're a close friend of mine and you want to tell new people about your relationship with me, some things that make that relationship a little bit more unique are that I am a person living with dwarfism, a little person. I am okay if you provide that context as well. So then when I meet those people, they may understand me a little bit more. And then we can get to know each other and learn more from each other going forward. Just an example, one of my best friends, while we were a little bit out of college, she was getting to know some people who she works with. They're from Ireland. She didn't know if they were going to say something offensive when I was about to enter the gathering. So she gave them context and said that my best friend is a little person and I'm excited for you guys to meet her. I just don't want you to react in a crazy way. And I understand that that context may be appropriate in some situations. But in most cases, I tell people, just call me Becky. And then we can get to know each other and you'll start to learn maybe terms I prefer and may not prefer. I would say universally, the word midget is not a preferred term with the little people community and it's frowned upon. But I think everyone has a personal preference based on growing up. Maybe they were made fun of and one of the words that I prefer was not a preferred term in that certain scenario. So everyone has a different lived experience, but I would say little person or person with dwarfism or dwarf are fine for me.
That's such a great explanation, Becky. I really appreciate that. And I think the thing is that most of us, especially if we want to be good people and good community members, we want to be less fearful and more inclusive. So how do you suggest that we all do that?
I think a big piece of it is not being afraid of mistakes you made in the past before you had a chance to learn. Right now, it's going forward. How can we learn from each other and get better going forward? I'm not going to hold a grudge on something that was a mistake made in the past if you're willing to learn and get better going forward. You can make an assumption, but that's only going to take you so far. Get to know people, ask questions. You're going to realize you have a lot more in common with them than you may think.
I like that. I know that you've been working remote for a while, and I just wonder, do you have any helpful tips for people, especially those who are new to it right now?
Something that's been helpful for me is trying to get up and get ready for the day as best I can. I am guilty of still wearing yoga pants throughout the workday, but I think it's important to get up, feel a little refreshed before you get started, and also get up and take breaks if you can. Before all of this, I was really counting on having that morning workout at the gym before getting started because I am sitting all day and sometimes you get so distracted working so hard and then you forget to take care of yourself. And I think it's very important for people to take care of themselves, take breaks when needed, but also discipline yourself. Try to set certain hours where you're working so you're not working around the clock.
I like that, Becky. We ran out of time, but are there any good resources for people to consult in terms of using the proper language when they interact with someone who has a disability?
Absolutely. I serve on the board of the National Center for Disability Journalism at Arizona State University, and they have a style guide, and it's meant for journalists, but it can be meant for the whole environment because it talks about the preferred language with all different types of disabilities, and we can definitely provide that link.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And people can go to our website too to get that. Thank you for your time today. Great to see you.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks, Becky.